How are we doing today? Welcome to 60 Minutes with PD. Welcome to 60 Minutes with PD. Yes. How have you been? How is it going? Yes. Welcome to 60 Minutes with PD. Yes. How are we doing? How's our weekend going? Welcome. Yes, Lois, how are you doing, Lois? Yes, Binta. Hi, Christy. How's everybody doing? Yes. So good to see us all this evening. Are we ready? We have an interesting topic. It's interesting. Topic: last minute wedding cancellations. But I'm sure we're going to have something to say about this. Okay. So welcome to 60 Minutes with PD. Yes. It's our fastest moving 60 minutes of the day. Our fastest moving 60 minutes of the day. Fastest moving 60 minutes of the day. Yes. Hi, Christy. How are you? How are you, Christy? How's it going? How are we doing? Ami Qatar. How are you? Nana, how are you? Zini Biu. How are we doing? Let's just give our locations. Let's know where you're at. Let's find out your locations. I see some people from Ghana. I see some people from Kenya. Of course, from Nigeria, from Abuja and Lagos. How are we doing? It's going to be an interesting evening because the topic is kind of, interesting. But it's something that happens that we need to talk about because when you've talked about it and you're educated on the topic, if ever you had to handle it, then you would do it so much better because you know about it. So do we just get this? So welcome to 60 Minutes with PD, your fastest moving 60 minutes of the day. Okay, please follow me right here at PIIDII19 on Instagram, on Facebook, and of course we're on YouTube and on Twitter. So please just follow me and let's do life together. How are we doing? It's just going to be 60 minutes, no more, no less. It's never enough, but when it's time to go. So, let's have fun. While I'm here, please, ask me any question at all. Let's make it interactive. Let the platform be hot. Let's have some action on the platform, and let's have a lot of fun today. Okay. So yes, of course, tell your friends to follow me. Get everyone to follow me. Today's topic is last minute wedding cancellations. Yes, Nigeria. That's WP Obubu. Yes. Bibian, how are you? Bibian, let's know where you are. Come on, talk to us, Bibian. How are you? Ades, Dr. Nance. How are you? PN Get H. Then there's Zinibu. Where are you from, Zinibu? Bini City in the house. Hola. Accra. No. Ami Qatar. You're in Nigeria right now. I know you're from Ghana, but you are right here in Nigeria. So. Oh, Patience, Abuja, Nigeria. Real man, talk to me, real man. How are you all doing? Amazing. Last minute wedding cancellations or even engagement cancellations, it's nothing that we want to do. And I pray that you or anybody will never have to cancel an engagement or never have to cancel a wedding. That it will just not happen. That's what I pray. But but life happens to us and stuff happens. So sometimes we're trying to avoid making a bigger mistake by canceling the wedding. So actually canceling the wedding is actually not a bad thing if you look at it in perspective. So let's start to see, sometimes we have to pull back, before we pledge ourselves to a person that we're not sure about. And marriage is serious business. Let's start to understand this. Marriage is serious business. You stand before a man of God and you pledge, you make a vow, a covenant that I am going to be with this person for the rest of my life till I die. I will share, for richer, for poorer means that I will share my wealth and my belongings with them as well. It's a powerful covenant. So if before you get into it, it dawns upon you or you discover something that just shows that, this person might not be the person that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. It may not work. And at this last minute, stuff has happened, but you just put brakes on everything and tell everybody, stop. I'm not doing this. I'm not going any further. So that could be something for us to understand. So, hey, let's go. This is 60 Minutes with PD. It's your fastest moving 60 minutes of the day. Don't forget that. It's your fastest moving 60 minutes of the day. Yes, last minute wedding cancellations or engagement cancellations, they do occur. We might not want to talk about it, but they happen. And we don't want it to happen to us, and I don't want it to happen to you, but you never know, just in case. You may know somebody that you want to advise. But let's look at it deeply tonight, and let's get an understanding of what's going on. Okay? No one wants to go through this, but life happens to everyone at some point in time in life. The reason for a last-minute wedding cancellation is usually the discovery of a non-negotiable fact or trait just before the wedding. So, like most times, some things get revealed. Okay, it could be information that came that you heard or saw, or it could be something that you just basically discerned. Like there are times where during the relationship you've had this nagging feeling, you're hoping for some change, and I'll tell you this: every single person has something they want in their partner to change. Seriously, this thing I'm telling you is true. Everybody has something that you want to change. The issue here is this thing that you want them to change. Is it a deal breaker? Now, if it's a deal breaker, that's a problem. Because, if you can't love them and marry them the way they are like right now, then, things have got to be left the way they are. And don't make plans for marriage till those things are resolved. So if you're out there, before you get married, ask your partner, like, is there anything, like, of course there are things in me that you want to change, but is there anything you want me to change that's a deal breaker for you? And if it's a deal breaker for you, then you guys need to discuss it. So then you can work on it, and if the change occurs, then it's okay. But if it doesn't occur, then we know that there's no deal, because this for me is a deal breaker. But these conversations have got to be had, because too many times people don't talk, people don't ask questions. I don't know why people don't ask questions really. Maybe you might want to tell me. Let's get some people on the platform. Tell me, why is it that people don't want to ask questions? Is it that you don't want to hurt their feelings, or you don't want the answer that you might get? I don't get it. But ask questions, because these things you just need to know, especially when you're just starting. You've got to know a lot about the person that you are going with. Okay. So I said it, the reason for last-minute wedding cancellations are usually discovery of a non-negotiable fact, okay, or trait just for the wedding. It could be a terrible quarrel just for the wedding. Sometimes couples have this terrible quarrel, just a terrible quarrel before the wedding, and they call everything off. There was a case where just like before the wedding, they discussed if they wanted to have, how many children they wanted to have, and there was a sharp disagreement over, I want to have 4, you want to have only 1. And from that conversation, just before the wedding, everything got cancelled. But guess what? That conversation should have been had when they were dating, when there was nothing at stake. But now you're going to cancel the hall, cancel the food, cancel the photographer, cancel so many things at great cost. So let's do the right thing at the right time. While you're dating, that's when you're asking questions. You're dating to choose. Don't date like you're married. Don't have... Like most people, the problem is your commitment to the person you're dating is a commitment that you have to the person that you're marrying. And that's wrong. That's upside down. Okay. Now, it could be the discovery of cheating just before the wedding. And this happens. There are times where just before the wedding, you discover that your husband-to-be or wife-to-be has been with somebody or is being with somebody currently that, you're just finding out. Now, this is big. So what do you do? So there are different reasons why people could want to cancel their wedding. How about discovering that, okay, let me see. Yes, quarrel. It could be cheating. Now, can you imagine discovering that your husband-to-be was cheating with your best friend, and you just discovered this like 2 weeks to the wedding, and this is the best friend that you've chosen to be your chief bridesmaid? No, can you guys hear me now? So now it's 2 weeks to the wedding, and then you have proof, just like tangible proof, that this guy that you're about to get married is cheating with your best friend, who's the chief's bridesmaid. What would you do? Guys, tell me, would you go ahead with the wedding? Would you tell me what would you do, guys? Cream Bay, tell me, what would you do? Because it's good to think about these things. Because what happens is that people have gone ahead just because, like there's something about a wedding. It's like a big tide, like a tidal wave. It's like your partner is saying, let's get married, let's get married. Your parents are saying, get married, we've paid the money. Your friends are saying, get married. You've paid for things. And, it's like nobody's asking you, how do you really feel about this marriage? Do you really want to get married to this person? Do you really want to spend the rest of your life with this person? Like nobody's asking you. You're just like, and if you keep quiet, the wave will just carry you. I want to just deposit you in front of a pastor who will say, say I do, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband for the rest of your life till you die? Share your body and your money with him. And you say, I do. Like you're in a trance. And then the day after the wedding, everybody pulls back. And then it's quiet. Then it's you and this person that you really don't want to be married to. That's when stuff starts to happen. And this happens. This thing I'm telling you, it happens. So we need to be very aware. Don't let things around you just carry you like a tidal wave. And just, you have objections in your mind, in your heart, but you're not saying anything. So it's just moving forward. And then one day, guess what? You're in a white dress, or in a black suit, and then you get married. And it's like, wow, it's done. It's easy to get into. It's harder to come out of. Wedding off because after the wedding, they will still be seeing. That is true. Christy, April, that is true. That's more than a red flag. That's like a bullet. Okay, so, can you imagine? Yes. How about this? And this is something that's happened before. This couple, they're together. They've had a baby. Don't tell me how. But they have a baby. But now they're not about to get married. And sometime before the wedding, he finds out that the baby is not his. Baby gets sick. They try to do some blood work, and the child's blood type does not match his at all. Meanwhile, he's about to get married in 2 weeks' time. What would you guys do if this happened to you? This is a conversation right here. Come on, talk to me, people. What would you do if this was you? I'm waving at some people. What would you do, people? What would you do if this was you? Any guys on the platform? Or let's do it the other way around. If it was, I guess no, it can't be the other way around because the guy can't really do this, Okay, but yes. Now, it's interesting. They got married. They got married, but it broke. Everything crashed within a year. They were both apart, gone. And to be quite frank, it was because the parents were involved and money had been spent, invitations were out, and they just went. Let's not do that. No matter what it costs, okay, to break off a wedding that's not going to work, it's going to be cheaper than if you entered it, got married, and then came out later. It's going to be cheaper. It's going to be less painful. It's going to be less complicated. It's going to just be a better option to actually break off that wedding at the last minute than go in knowing that it's not going to work. I mean, many people might not understand or agree with me, but this is the truth. This is actually the truth. If you agree, just let me know. Just let me know. Okay, so that was one situation. It could just be that you finally got the revelation that this is not the person for you just before the wedding. It could be anything. And there are times that a lot of people that are going, like sometimes you meet aggressive people, it's like, I love you, let's get married, so we'll get married on this day. So everything is just, at no point where you ask, like, do you really want to get married now? Or do you want to get married later? Nobody asked you. You're just being pushed. And if you're a passive aggressive, you're most likely going to just not say much and be carried along. But because you have an aggressive part in you, when you get to the line, that line to cross over into getting married, the aggressive part pops out and says, no, I'm not going. And then there's a problem. So, there are ways that we're going to deal with this. I will discuss it later. Let me not jump ahead of myself. We never think much of wedding cancellations, but they do happen more times than you know. Maybe wedding cancellations should occur. Now, this is interesting. I want us to just listen. Maybe wedding cancellations should occur more often. It would result in fewer divorces. It's true. Like every time I've cancelled people, and I've asked them, like, this problem, did you know it before? They always knew it. So now that they want to get divorced and leave, to be quite frank, if they had cancelled the wedding, they will have saved themselves years of pain and hurt. It will have been cheaper. They will have still been single, available for whatever. But guess what? They didn't. So there are times when actually it's actually a good option, if you find yourself at that point, to actually cancel the wedding, even though it's last minute. Would you cancel the wedding if you ran? This is interesting. If you're about to get married and like 2 weeks before the wedding, you ran into like nude pictures of your husband or wife to be, posted on the internet or sent to you, would you go ahead with the wedding? Any responses? This is from Krimbe. It will be remembered for the rest of one's life. Not a good memory. I cancel the wedding. Okay, good, Krimbe. He should cancel the wedding. This is Ngala to patience. What? Okay, call off the wedding. I'll cancel. Okay, it's a wrap. I hear you. This is Wendy Manor. I agree. Christy, it's better to break up the wedding. And that's so true because I counsel people when you're in a marriage that's not working. It's very painful. It's a very painful experience. It's something that, to be quite frank, if you could avoid it, you should. And the only way you could have avoided it was to have not have gotten into that marriage in the first place. And I can tell you this, that there are so many married people that, some, that, to be quite frank, if they had the opportunity to turn back the hands of time to when they got married, they'd go back there and they cancel the wedding. I am not kidding, and this is the truth. So, there are many good weddings out there, many good marriages out there, and that's so great. But at the same time, there are many people struggling who are married to people that they shouldn't. So to be quite frank, the idea of cancelling a wedding, if you know that it's not going in the right direction, it's not a bad idea. It's actually for the better. Okay, so if you found naked pictures of your wife to be or your husband to be, on the internet, would that affect your decision to marry? And this is like it's different if they told you before that, what, I was in this relationship or something and I did so and so, and then you saw it. But you were never told, it just came to you, boom, just like that. What would you do? How would you feel? Let's get some responses. How would you feel if you found nude pictures of your husband or wife to be on the internet? What would be your response? Would it be something that you discuss and move on? Or would you just say, what, this is a deal breaker for me? Anybody, let's see, anybody, talk to me. People, yes, talk to me. Anyway, so for some people, it's a deal breaker. And if it's a deal breaker, well, do what you've got to do. Okay, and I'll tell us this. In your relationships, avoid exchanging nude pictures. Avoid giving your partner, no matter how much you love them, especially with your face on it. Please don't do that. It can come back later on and bite you in the behind and you won't like it. So let's start to understand that even though we're in love with this person and everything, there's some boundaries you've got to have. You can't have him whip out his camera and start to take pictures of you anyhow. Let's not do that. Sarah Hives, this is Lois says we may have to postpone the wedding because it's a red flag. And that is true. I like the way you say postpone, which means that there's a possibility that we could talk this over and move forward. And that's okay. There are situations where the wedding needs to be postponed, and there's situations where the wedding needs to be canceled. Just like, it's not going to happen. Probably as a pretty long time ago, and they never remembered because things have changed. You're making, who is this? Sarah Stevens. You're making excuses for them. It's good to think that way, but what if they've done it with everybody and they're still doing it? So it's good to investigate and find out. But I like your heart though, because it's a loving heart, it's a good heart. You're making excuses for them. But sometimes people take advantage of you when you do that a lot. So you want to look into it, see what it is. If it's just like you're saying, then it's fine. It's a long time, they're no longer that person. And I'll tell you this too. Always be willing to take people for who they are today. Don't take a person, never use a person's past to judge them today. If truly the person that you've met and the person that you're experiencing is no way like the person you've seen on the internet or the person that you heard about or what they've been, if they are completely transformed, then love them for who they are today. Don't hold their past against them. And I'll tell you this, you can find a person with a good past and live with them today, and they will be horrible and they will give you hell. And being married to them will be like horrors. And you can find a person with a terrible past who has changed completely, and you marry them today, and they will be peaceful and loving, and your lives together will be amazing. So do not use a person's past to judge them. Look at them today, make all your investigations, watch them closely, test them, but if they pass the test, then take them for who they are today. So important. Am I talking to anybody? So it's a deal breaker. Christy, I will feel bad because I was not told about it. Yeah, okay, this is something else too. When we look at why people cancel last minute, their weddings last minute, one of the main issues is that they were never told. You see, like almost everything that you could discover just before the wedding, that's a deal breaker for you. If they had told you somewhere along the line, okay, for a day or two you could be sober and you mull over it, but if you really love this person, you will come back to them, and you'll come back to them, and now that you've come back to stay, and nothing can happen again. Whatever your spouse to be does not know just before the wedding is a time bomb waiting to explode. There's a mindset out there where people don't want to tell people anything. It's like, I'm going to get married to you and not tell you my life. You are setting yourself up for a time bomb. And I'll tell you how it works. Every person has what they call deal breakers, okay? At the same time, if you told me, and you told me the context, and you told me that you're not this person, for a day or two, I could be a bit sober. But because I love you, I'm going to come back. And now that I've come back, I know. So if we were about to get married, and somebody who wants to break us up comes and tells me something, I can tell them that you know what, don't worry. I actually know about this thing, and I'm cool with it. So it's okay. It could be after we're married and some guy's trying to say, you know what, hey, who is this the person you married? Don't you know? I say, well, I know. So guy, just keep it short, and I don't hear it again. And once he hears that, he's gone. He'll never bother me again. But if you don't say it, if you didn't tell it, that's when, if it shows up, it's an explosion. It's a time bomb waiting to go. Amazing. Zinibu says it's a deal breaker. Adura Tommy says, how can you tell if they have really changed? Well, if you spend time with the person, it's easy to watch them and see that they're not like this person used to be a prostitute, just an outright prostitute. But now I'm with her and I've known her for a year. Everywhere, if she says she's here, she's there. I pick up her phone, there's nothing in it. At no point has she lied to me. Have I caught her in a lie? She's just, she's just who she says she is. And I experienced this for 1 year, 2 years. I mean, if it's time to marry, I'll marry her because, she's just not who she used to be. So that's one thing we want to know. People do change. And then ask people why they changed. If they can't tell you, if they didn't have some kind of, trauma, something explosive that happened that caused them to change, then the change might not be true. Because to be quite frank, people don't just change. There has to be some kind of encounter, some kind of something that caused them to stop going in the direction that they were going and turn around. See, whatever can stop you and turn you around is a force that's greater than you. So it's not a passive thing. You can just never say, I used to be like this, and then one day I just stopped, and then I turned this way. No, if you know physics or science, if you're rolling, you have momentum. You're going forward. Whatever can stop you will have equal momentum. Whatever can turn you back must have greater momentum than you. So just telling me that I just changed, I just read it. No, there has to be an encounter, some kind of encounter, and then you've changed. Okay, Christopher, it's. If I get a good explanation, I will go ahead. Yes. Yeah, and that's true. If there's a good explanation, that you will, yes, if there's a good explanation, and that is good. So, where was I? Now, if they don't, if just before the wedding, you find out that they hid something so important, like, for example, you find out that the man you're about to marry, he was married before, and you don't know. And 2 weeks before the wedding, you have solid proof that this guy was married before. What would you do? It's like, if he could hide that from me, what else is he hiding from me? Do you get? At this point, if you go ahead with this wedding, the chances that this marriage will not work is so high that, to be quite frank, if you ask me, I'll tell you to postpone or cancel. No matter how much money. And most times about weddings is that you have paid for the hall. Your invitations have gone out to your father's friends. You know, I mean, stuff is out there. But I am telling you, it is a cheaper option. It's a less painful option to cancel the wedding. Face the, just call your parents quietly and say, Dad, Mom, I can't go ahead. I'm sorry, I've done this to you, but I can't go ahead. In fact, you might tell them even before you tell him or her, So, it's like, I can't. And any loving father or parent will not want you to get into a marriage that's doomed before it started. So they love you. They will understand, It says, call him off and arrest him. What nonsense is that? Well, that's a bit radical, real man, But these things happen. Like most of these examples I am giving you, they happen. They've happened before. And the people it happened to, they didn't ask for it, but it just happened. Okay? So, would you... Yes. Would you cancel your wedding if 2 weeks before the wedding you discovered that your husband-to-be has a 5-year-old son that he never told you about? One of us told me this today. So this is like real life. You're about to marry 2 weeks and they have a child. They have a child that you didn't even know existed. Now, it's not a sin to have a child. So do you get that? It's not a sin like that. But you did not know about it. How would you take it? 2 weeks for the wedding, total deal breaker. I agree with you. This is Sarah Stevens. Yes, I agree with you completely, Sarah Stevens. It's like a child is not a pen or I don't know what. That's not a whole human being. You did not tell me that came from you through another woman. You didn't tell me. I'm about to get married like 2 weeks' time. That's a deal breaker because you are a liar. You are not faithful. I cannot trust you. You try to manipulate me. You try to deceive me. It's like all these things are things I don't expect from a husband that's supposed to love me, protect me, and provide for me. It just cancels everything. So let's start to understand. Like if we get things in perspective, see, the benefit of a night like this is that because you've thought about it, we've discussed it. If ever anything like this happened around you, you'd know what to do. You wouldn't have to it wouldn't come to you as a shock, and then you could make the wrong call. Do you just get this? Yes. Would you cancel your wedding? 5-year-old child. Would you cancel your wedding at the last minute if you found out that your partner is gay? Now, I didn't say was gay. I said your partner is gay, okay? Which means they're still gay. And you found out like a week or two before the wedding. How, and you had no clue before this time. How would you take it? How would you take it, people? Even the night before the wedding, we will cancel it. Yes, real man, I agree with you completely. Vera Wills. Well, a friend found out 9 days to her engagement, her fiancé was in prison for 2 years. We'll see whether he was innocent or not. I believe she had the right to know. Did you just get that? This is Zinibu here. Is this Zinibu? No, this is Sandy, I think. Yes, that disclose these things. If you've been to prison before, if she loves you, she won't leave you. But tell her. For her to find out by herself, like a few days for the wedding, is not good. It's not good at all. Amazing. Let's hear the things that happen out there, people. It says that cancel. Why keep the child hidden? That's true. Why is he hiding? I will cancel. That is good. That book, he says, it's not a big deal. He wasn't ready to talk about it yet. Oh my God. Okay, it's definitely not a deal breaker for me. Okay, no, but it's possible. But I'll tell you this: if you don't hold your partners to a higher level of accountability, you will be the one that will suffer from the low accountability that you've set. So you don't have to call it off, but you've got to. You see, people get a sense of what you expect from them, and they'll come to your level. So if you don't expect them to be honest with you, then you will end up with a dishonest partner. So it's so important that you let people know that, when you're with me, this is what you should expect from me, and this is what I expect from you. So if you do that, then you will enjoy your life better. So let's always know that, okay? It's very important. Sometimes people respond to us. It's like, like I have this thing about cheating that most of you will not agree with me. But if you look your partner in the eye and say, if you cheat on me once, I will warn you. If you cheat on me twice, I will either pack out or warn you again. But if you cheat on me 3 times, I am gone. So as you are going cheating, just know that on that 3rd time, just know that I am no longer in your life. And seriously, if you put this boundary and it's a line, you will not have too much crap going on in your life. It's like, because you just won't be there if that person will not respect you and love you enough to do what they should do. Seriously speaking, it's like boundaries need to be had. It's like, and you back it up. That's why I say everybody should be financially independent. So if you need to make that call, you make it. It's like I have 0 tolerance for cheating. If you cheat, I'm not going to. You and I are not going to have this. We're just not going to play if you're going to cheat. Period. Simple. Anyway, that was just me. So that's just PG. So we have different standards. So talk to me, people. It says run. This is Uwa's signature. Even on the wedding morning, it can be cancelled. Oh my God, I got some tough women out here. Send some boys to beat the gee out of him. No, you can't beat the gee out of him. I'm sorry. Sandy vote. I think it's better postponed and deliberate. Yes, like not everything needs to be cancelled. You can postpone. Gay K, no need discussing it. We are done. Even it's the wedding morning. Okay, and that was from Zini Bill. I like tonight. No, gay, no, exactly. Okay, so let me keep going. Okay, some things you don't need to know. Okay, this is interesting. Now, you have to ask your partner if there's anything about them that you need to know. And I'll tell you how it works. Ask your partner, is there anything in your life I need to know? And now if we just started the relationship, okay, to be quite frank, you don't have to tell me everything. If there's some serious issues in your life that could be deal breakers, when we just started, you don't have to tell me everything, okay? But when we get to a point where we're talking marriage, we're talking like we're taking this further, okay? We're talking about, seeing your parents, my parents, your parents. We're talking at this point in time, you need to volunteer. Even if they don't ask, you need to just volunteer. Like, we're about to get married, blah, 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 blah. I really think at this point, you need to know this, okay? And don't be afraid. If they love you, it will not drive them away. They may be sober for a day or two, okay? They may even walk away for a day or two. But if they love you, they will come back. If they leave because of that item, or because of that particular deal, then the love they had for you was the kind of love that could be broken even at any time by anything else. So don't be afraid. Tell them. And I'll tell you this, when you've told a person everything about your life, there's just this, the person has, and he says, I do to you, he has accepted you and your story. He has accepted you and everything else. And that's the best way for you to be with a person, where you are not hiding something. Do you know what it's like to live your whole life with this, like, if this thing gets out to this guy, I don't know what he's going to do. You don't want to live that way. Okay, so let's not just create that situation in our lives. Okay, are we good? So you don't have to tell them everything at the same time, but later on. What if your partner beats you up? Like, it's a week before the wedding, and he beats you up, black eye, busted lip. And then he comes and then he begs you. What would you do? And I mean real beat you up. Like, I mean really, really like beat you up, And then, comes and then he begs you and says, let's get married next week. Let's think about this. What would we say? Your partner like beat you up, gave you a black eye, busted your lip, and then begs you, buys you gifts and says, let's get married next week. What would you do? Sandybot says, please, is it important to talk to them about your past? I don't understand why someone should cancel marriage because he found out the lady once dated his biggest enemy. Like he's not, how can I put it? He's not upset because of what she did. He's upset because she didn't tell him. This same guy, if she told him some time back, would still marry her. So let's get that. Most times, it's not what you did that's pissing them off. Because to be quite frank, whatever you did, if you had explained, one, if you had stopped doing it, because you can't still be doing it, if you had stopped doing it and you had explained before, they'd be okay. But it's like, you didn't tell me. And you know it's something that it will affect me. I didn't tell, so that's what makes them bent out of shape, okay? They're his biggest enemy. He shouldn't be having enemies. Zero tolerance for beating. Of course. You know, give you a black eye before the wedding. You know, that's a lifetime of black eyes. You don't want that. You know, I'm gone. Exactly. Thank you, Sandy Boat. You know, Joy's boy, bye. That's Joy Sanjay. Yes, Joy. You know, like, it's like, I'm gone. I'm gone. Lois, I will postpone till further notice. You know, Judge says, I don't want to die. And that is so true. And see, at the end of the day, crazy things happen, and sometimes not so crazy, that could end up, you know, causing you to make that decision that, you know what, this wedding is not going to happen. It's just, no matter how much money we've spent, it's just not going to happen. You just get that. You know? Yes. B. Oshbird, one of my guys here, says, you know, he'd cancel the wedding if he discovered that she was marrying him out of pity. Would you cancel a wedding if you found out that she was getting married to you out of pity? You know, I mean, if she's pretty, you know, and she's cool, and it's pity, I'll take it. You know, hey, at least you got a nice, cool wife. But B. Oshbird says he won't take it. What do you guys think? You know, if you found out she was marrying you out of pity, you know? Anyway. Let's see what you think. Let's see if B. Oshbird is on the right track. It says if a lady is married, if he finds out that she's marrying out of pity, that she would not get married to her. Yeah, that's him right there. So let's see. Go slap your wife with money. And she'll be loving you. There'll be no pity right there. Who said that? Who said that? That's Gado Fushibo. That is so on point. You know, if you slap her with a ton of money, of dollars, she will just start to love you. The pity will be gone, just like that. You know, I want to, he could end up loving me. That is true. So B. Oshbird, you want to like examine that mindset. There might be some things you can change. Martina says, weddings can be cancelled when there is deceit and when the relationship is based on lies. Martina says she'll not do it again. Is Martina on the platform? She had sent this to me. I have a group and we're talking. Tomorrow night we're talking. Somebody asked a question. I have a WhatsApp group, and somebody says, what did she say? She says that we've been asked to be celibate, and that's good. So I want to be celibate. But sex is important in marriage. And so what happens if when we're celibate, we haven't found out about ourselves, he might be, what was the word she used? He might be impotent. He might be small. He might just not want to, you know, the levels of libido might not be the same, and it may not match. And I gave her some pointers on the group, and I said tomorrow night, after I'm rested, maybe like 9 o'clock, I'll come in the group and I'll address it in detail and sort it out. So guys, if you want to be in that conversation, you know, figure out how to get on the group and be there. You know, so you've got to be over 18 years old to be there. In fact, you've got to be over 20 years old to be there, because I might be saying some things that's adult only. So thank you very much. Okay, so 2 weeks wait. Now, what if 2 weeks to the wedding, invitations have been sent out, the hall has been paid for, the food is paid for, then you discovered the groom-to-be was married before, he never told you, will you go ahead with the wedding? What if a week before your wedding, you discovered that your husband-to-be was having an affair with your, guess who? Sister. This has happened before too. An affair with your sister, and you didn't know till a couple weeks to the wedding. What will you do? What will you do? Do anybody have any comments? Marriage is too long for a journey to have pity. No, okay. What would you do? You know, they were having an affair with a family member. What call would you make? Because now it's like, you know, that's actually, it's not complicated. You know, that would be like, what? Like, what? Anyway, what would you do? What if you, yes. As crazy as these scenarios may seem, they happen. There are two main lessons to learn in all of this. Before the marriage, tell your spouse to be all damaging information that exists about you. Any damaging information they don't know is a time bomb waiting to go off before or after the wedding. And you don't want that. Christian Approach says, I'll call it off. A real man says, we move. I'll fear about, yes, it happens. A mature man, listen to me carefully, a mature man will love and accept you with all your story. You just get that. A mature man, he will love you, he will accept you with whatever it is, because you are no longer that person. Remember that. Just as long as you are no longer that person, know that you will meet somebody who will love you for who you are today. And that's what you want. Okay? He will be sober. He might be sober for a few days, but he will be back to stay for a lifetime. And that's what you want. A man that's back to stay with you for a lifetime, knowing everything, every mess you've ever got into, he knows it and he's okay with it. There are men like that, okay? Stop, there are men like that, the mature-minded men that love you, that know what love is, okay? Any man that can't love you for who you are today should go. There are men that will love you the way you are right now. Now, listen to me very carefully, ladies. This mindset that women have, that there are no good mature men, is the reason that these women end up with weak and mean men. When you have a mindset that, they are like, if I lose this cheat and a liar that I'm holding on to, if I lose him, then I will not get anybody else. That is the mindset that makes you stay with this person. So let's not do that. If they're not up to your standard, let them go, because there are better people out there. The idea, once you have a mentality that there are no good people out there, it's a lie, and it will cause you to settle for less. And that's not what you want. Am I talking to anybody? Okay? If your belief is, it is your belief that there are no good men out there. That's why the only reason why a person will settle with a cheat and a liar is because you figure that, well, this is the best I can get, or this is the best that's out there. But that's not true. There are good people out there. Some of them are shy, some of them won't go out, some of them are just, but they're there. And if you, stay out there long enough, you'll find them. The second lesson is this. The dating stage is when you should have aggressively asked questions. Now, the second thing that we're learning tonight is this. The only reason why a person is going to, not only, but most of the time, the reason why you're canceling a wedding last minute is because the things you're finding out now, you should have found out earlier. You should have found out when you were dating and at the beginning of the relationship. You should have found out and cut them off. But you didn't find out. You allowed yourself to be carried along, and you were passive when you're supposed to be active. And you got yourself to a point where it's 2 weeks to the wedding, and then things are dawning on you that, this is the truth about this person. And then now you're having to cancel. Fine. The best thing to do is cancel than go into a bad marriage. But guess what? Though you could have found these things out earlier. That's why don't pull back from asking questions. Don't be shy. Ask them everything that can come to your mind. Ask them. If they could, and truly, if you get asked a question that you're not comfortable with right now, you can say, well, you know what, I'm not willing to talk about this now, but surely we can revisit this at a later date. And that's okay. And I mean, that's okay. As we develop and this relationship is getting to be solid, it's going towards being a marriage, then at some point we must go back to that conversation and have it. So that's so important. So like the idea that I will never tell you where I've been and what I've done, then I will marry you, then one day I will meet one old friend that I haven't seen in a long time. I'll meet him somewhere, and they'll pull me aside. I said, "Is that the person you married?" And then they'll now give me the whole gist after like 3 years of marriage. That day will be hot. I mean, it won't be an easy night. So let's start to understand that we need to share this information once we know that it's a go. Okay? Yes. So many women today realize that they should never have gotten married to their husbands. Truth be told, if they could wind back the hands of time, they would cancel that wedding in a minute. There are women I know personally that if they could wind the hands of time back, they had the power to take themselves back to the day before the wedding, they do it. And the only thing they'll do that day is cancel the wedding and then go back again. Am I talking to anybody? For real. This is for real. If you know the pain. See, I have a recording, a teaching that says you are better off single than being married to the wrong person. You're better off single. Seriously, when you're single, you're single. You own yourself. You're free. When you're tied to a man who just hurts you relentlessly, you cry, you beg, you crouch, you kneel, and he doesn't change his posture. It's a hard hand all the time. Cheating and being mean, calling you abusive names, treating you horribly, and he's your husband. The person that's supposed to protect you becomes your attacker, and you can't get out because of many, many, many reasons. You were better off single, to be quite frank. So let's try to understand this, that actually if you have to cancel the wedding, go right ahead and cancel it. In a minute, we'll talk about how it gets done, the best way to do it. Okay, the truth is that it is better to cancel the engagement or the wedding at the last minute than to get married knowing that it's not going to work. The worst thing you can do to yourself is it's weeks before, and you know in your heart of hearts that this thing is not going to work. You know it. But because you're a bit of a passive person, you're a bit timid, you allow things to just keep moving, and you can't make yourself say anything. You don't want to be there. You're better off stepping up. Like, just go talk to your best friend, talk to your parents, and gather momentum, talk to your partner, then let everybody know. And then, it's fine. It's okay. Money was lost, it's okay. But money can be regained. But your life and your experience and your time and the pain and the hurt, you've avoided all that. It was no matter what you lost, canceling a wedding, it is worth the price to pay for the pain and the hurt that you just avoided. Let's start to understand this. Okay? And I really pray for everybody here that nobody will get married to the wrong person and nobody will have to cancel any weddings. But, let's talk about this so we know what to do. Why do you feel it's only men that cheat? No. Women cheat too. Like anytime I talk about men, I talk about women as well. Of course women cheat. Israel, Moses. I sound like I'm biased towards the women, right? I just sound like that way. I love everybody. Women cheat too. And when women cheat, it really hurts. So, it hurts. And most women say, why does it hurt more if it's a woman? I know that, but it hurts. We men, when women cheat, it really hurts us. It really does. It's like, wow. Olaniro, hi, good to see you. So guys, so I hope that we're hearing something tonight. Being married to the wrong person is one of the worst things that could ever happen to anyone. The reality of being married to the wrong person is being trapped in a hopeless place of pain and hurt. Canceling a wedding is so much easier, so much less painful, so much cheaper than getting out of a marriage. You can never get out of a marriage as the same person who entered it. When you got married, you were single, then you became married. Do you realize that you can never come back and be single again? The only way you're going to come out of being married is to be divorced or a widow or a widower. So it's such a permanent thing. Let's not get into it carelessly. It's so important. Okay, let's start to look at some ways of dealing with it. It's never an easy decision to make, to cancel a wedding at the last minute. But make it if you have to. Do not get pressured into marriage. Many people, believe it or not, men and women, they get pressured into marriage. They're not really ready, but everybody's just pushing and pushing and pushing, and they just keep going like they're in a trance, and then boom, then they find themselves, they're just married, and then their eyes open, and then they start to struggle to get out. It happens to many people. Okay, no matter the pressure, if you sense there is a problem, stop the proceedings. Do not be passive and allow a pushy partner to push you into marriage. Marriage is supposed to be for a lifetime. It should be someone that loves and honors you. Don't let your partner's ignorance override your wisdom. And this is true. There are times when you see the red flags. Your partner says, no, that's not a red flag. He says, it's not a big problem. Just let's go. And then you continue to go. Don't do that. If you say it's a red flag, stand on it. It's a red flag. Let's look into it. Let's sort it out. Don't let your partner just say, that's nothing. That's just, it's not a big deal. Just not a big deal. Let's just keep going. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you figure it out, don't let your partner's ignorance override your wisdom. Did we get that? Okay. It happens to many people. Remember this. As time draws nearer to getting married, ask your partner if they have any reservations about getting married to you. This is the best way to avoid last minute cancellations. Always, as you're getting close and you're making serious plans, call your partner just very calmly and say, darling, do you have any reservations about getting married to me? And let them talk. And whatever it is, address it enough, so that when you move forward, it's a done deal. But very few people do this. Plenty of assumptions, plenty of pushing, just keep going, and then, stuff happens. Some people are aggressive. They tell you, I love you, we are getting married, let's choose a date. They didn't ask, when should we get married? Do you want to get married? It's like, we are getting married. I think August 2021 or 2 is a good time, and they're just making the plans. And at no point did they give you an opportunity to say, well, let's slow down. I think we need more time. Maybe I need to see these changes in you before I can be comfortable. Let's make sure that we give our partners an opportunity to talk to us. And for us to know if they have reservations. That's really important. If they are passive aggressive, they will keep going along with you till it gets to that point of getting married. And that's when the aggressive pops out and you find that they actually will not get married, even though you've spent a lot of money and things have happened. So let's learn this. Let's communicate well with our partners and let's carry them along. Yes, it's never easy canceling a wedding after the invitations have been sent out. Like, can you imagine you've like your parents have given you the guest list, your in-laws have given you the guest list, you have put your guests, you've written the invitations, you've sent them out. Now all of a sudden you want to cancel. Everything in you will not want to do it. I'm telling you, it's like when you think about it, your heart will cut and say, oh gosh, I can't do this. And that's how you're going to feel. But guess what? You're going to have to overcome it. Okay? The hall has been paid for. Deposits have been paid to the caterers. Guests have made plans to attend. Some may have even bought airline tickets. The DJ has been paid. Decorations have been, the decorator has been mobilized. Now it has just come glaringly clear to you that this is not the person you should marry. It's not an easy decision to make. How will you tell your partner? You will consider your parents. How do you tell your parents? What will people say? Of course it's going to come to your mind like, if I cancel my wedding, what will people say? But will you marry the wrong person because of what people will say? I mean, can somebody just talk to me? Will you just now enter this marriage because of what people will say? Will you continue? Will you enter this marriage because, all this money has been spent? Is money spent a good enough reason to marry a person that is not going to work? Let's start to think about these things, okay? It's not an easy decision at all. You will even start to ask yourself if this feeling that you're feeling or what is authentic. After a while, you might doubt yourself that, maybe I'm wrong. This guy is okay. Or this woman is okay. Maybe I'm wrong. It may come. But you've got to have clarity. Clarity. It's not easy. You must have clarity. But once, see, and I'll tell you this is the key. If you don't feel a peace going forward, don't go forward. And let it be a guide to all of us. If there's a peace in your heart about the direction you're going, go. But if each time you go forward or you attempt to go forward, there's an uneasiness, then don't do it. Then slow down. Figure out what is causing it. Because that uneasiness, there is a reason why you are feeling it. And you want to know. It's something warning you to take it easy. You may be going in the wrong direction. Okay. You will even, yes. You will have a strong inclination to just go along with it and keep everybody happy. But do you want to keep everybody happy and then enter into a bad marriage? Is that a good reason? I don't think so. At the expense of you getting into a lifetime of torture and pain, you want to keep people happy? That's not good enough. The truth is this: as difficult and as expensive and uncomfortable as it will be, it is still the best decision to make. It is still the cheapest. It's still the less painful. Sometimes in a relationship, everybody is making plans for you. You are just being carried along. Your partner is making plans for you. Your parents are making plans for you. Your friends are making plans for you. Their friends are making plans for you. And you're just being carried along. If you don't want to go, don't be carried along. What about the dowry? You return the dowry. How much do they pay? That's why it's good when your parents aren't too greedy and they only ask for some small money. You pay it back. But if you ask for a ton of stuff and you've eaten it, but dowry or no dowry, cancel the wedding. Then you can be paying dowry back little by little. But do not enter a bad marriage because of the dowry. that's just not a good enough reason to get into a marriage where somebody will torture your life for the rest of your life. So, dowry or not, you can turn back. So it's time for you to wake up, snap out of it, and say something. And tell everyone to stop. Every single person that I know that are either struggling in their marriage or divorced, or divorced, have something in common. They saw the signs in their spouses before they got married, but they still went ahead. Yes, I've always seen this. I also have people that say that they consider canceling the marriage at the last minute, but they didn't. But now they regret not canceling it. And that's true. For everybody who, just for the wedding, they wanted to cancel it, but then they piped down, then they went through. Every single one of them. I haven't seen one person that has come back and told me that, you know what, I am happy I didn't cancel it. The report that I get is that, you know what, I should have canceled it. I should have done something at that point in time. So I'm not encouraging last minute wedding cancellations. I am not encouraging that. But if you are not at peace going forward, do not go forward. Did you get that? This is 60 minutes with PD, your fastest moving. Wow. Your fastest moving 60 minutes of the day. We have like 3 minutes left and I have like 20 more points. Yes. So I'm here every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Please join me here. I'm consistent. Let's do life together. Amazing. Just a ton of information on my platforms on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube. And it's PIIDII19 on all those platforms. Please just join me, follow me, like and, just like and comment. Please, please, please. And let's do life together. Once you decide to cancel the wedding, the two most important and horrifying things that you need to do is, one, is to tell your partner, tell your parents, tell the guests, and two, get as much money back as possible. Once you have decided, you know what, I have to cancel this wedding. Two things, the news has got to go out. You've got to tell your parents who spent a ton of money and tell your partner and his parents, they need to be told. That's important. And the next thing that's important is to start to recoup the money that you've put out. Because at this point in time, you've paid all sorts of deposits, you've arranged all sorts of things, and now you're trying to get it back. And there are ways that you can try to get stuff back, like your caterers. Find out, work with them. If they have another event on that day, then the food or whatever that they've bought for you can be used for the other event and you can get your money back. Don't fight with them, work with them and see different ways where people can at least get you most of your money back. But guess what? They will be willing to lose some of your deposit because that will surely happen. So the first thing you want to do after telling your parents is call the vendors. If you have an events planner, call your events planner and say, you know what, we're calling the wedding off. And then work with them to see how much they can get back for whoever it is that you've paid. If not, call your vendors directly and talk to them. I'm talking really quick because it's almost time. Get a trusted, now, at this point in time, get a trusted and responsible friend to handle most of these things. Because your frame of mind at this point where you're calling off a wedding at the last minute, you're not going to be in the best frame of mind. Look for a trusted and reliable friend to call, to be in charge of do a text blast. You had an invitation list, you knew who you invited, blast them a text, an email to say, we're sorry, blah, blah, blah. You say it really nicely, but the wedding has been called off for at the moment. We'll update you of any new developments or something and leave it at that, but get the information out. Start to talk to your vendors, talk to your wedding planner, talk to the vendors directly. And what else here? I'm moving really fast. And also, so I'm talking about if you're the one calling it off. Now, if you are the one at the receiving end, which means that they called off the wedding on you, okay? Now, don't get angry. Don't get defensive. And don't just counterattack. If they did this, then to be quite frank, you should be happy that the person that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with revealed to you that they had reservations. You should be happy. So at this point, you ask them, talk to them, make sure it's not cold feet. Some people, I hear my music, I gotta go. Some people have cold feet. If it's cold feet, you can talk it over and keep moving. But if it's deeper than just them having cold feet, then you want to get to understand what's going on and see if there's something that can be salvaged. People, my time is up, I gotta go. I think I had like 50 more points, but I'll post my notes on my platform. Guys, I love you, love you, love you. I just can't wait to see you again next week. Okay, guys, I wish you the best. I just pray that all your relationships are good, that you end up with the right people, and that your marriages are amazing, that, you guys
Have an amazing life. I gotta go. So guys, bye. See you next week.